Well, hello everybody. Welcome to this Escapia webinar on three of our exciting API integration partners. My name is Daniel Bridges. I am the Director of Partnerships for Escapia. And in just a minute, we'll get started. While we wait for a few more people to join us, always takes a little bit of time for people to trickle in as we start these webinars. A couple of housekeeping items while we wait. So we will be doing some Q&A on this webinar and look forward to being able to give you the chance to ask your questions and get them answered. You should see a Q&A option in your webinar controls. So please use that. You can fire questions in there as you have them, and we'll address those at the end. If you do have any issues with the technical side of the webinar at all, you can use the chat feature. One of our moderators will help you out with that as well. So use the chat for general technical issues and the Q&A for live questions for our participants. What else can I tell you? I think that is about it, and we will get on with the webinar now. So as I said, I'm Daniel Bridges. I'm the Director of Partnerships for Escapia. Excited to bring you some of our Escapia integration partners today. We have three of them, in fact. We have OK to Charge, eData, and Rentalz. So some exciting presentations, and we'll get cracking. But before we do, wanted to remind you all of the API integration partnerships that we have with Escapia, what we call our marketplace. And they cover a wide variety of integration types and services. You'll see them on the screen there, ranging from home automation and locks and guest services and communications to pricing, revenue management, etc. There's a wide variety of them. You can find them on our website, or you can contact our customer support team, csm@escapia.com, and they can answer your questions about what might be available. You may find, even in some cases, you might be using a third-party piece of software that actually integrates with Escapia. So don't miss the opportunity to actually streamline your operations by connecting that directly. All right, well, that's the brief spiel. And next, I'm really pleased to introduce Eric Broughton, CEO of OK to Charge, our newest integration partner. Eric is based in Chicago, and I can tell you that OK to Charge is a service I could definitely have used on a recent trip to Australia when I inadvertently booked an EV. It was a rental car, an EV. I didn't know it was EV when I booked it, but picked it up, and I had a really tight overnight turnaround. It was a 220 kilometer range on this EV, and I had a 200 kilometer trip to make, and I had to go back the next morning. So I really struggled to find a way to charge that overnight. I could have used with OK to Charge. I'm looking forward to hearing your summary, Eric. So without further ado, could OK to Charge have helped me in that situation, Eric?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that intro, Daniel. And I think you just nailed our value proposition to the Escapia team perfectly. One of our founders, he experienced that exact situation. He was in his electric vehicle driving up the Oregon coast where there's very few chargers. He dropped off his family at the vacation home, and then he had the unpleasant experience of having to drive to a Walmart parking lot and charge his car for the next 6 hours while his family was enjoying their vacation. Not a great experience. And that's really one of the reasons we created this platform. I want to do a quick level set of what different electric vehicle chargers exist in the marketplace. I think that's always a good place to start. There's the level 1 chargers, which is really akin to plugging into your just wall socket, and that's 120 volts. Problem there is that in your situation, Daniel, you would have been charging your car for the next 2 or 3 days. It wouldn't have been helpful because you're only adding about 1 to 2 miles, maybe 3 miles for every hour that your car is plugged into that wall outlet. But on the flip side, it's still pulling energy from that electricity from that property. We have a new client that's joined us. The reason why is because he had a Tesla driver stay at his property for a whole month in Florida, and his electrical bill went up by $300 because the car was charged, and he has no way to get that money back. On the far end, we have level 3, which is this DC fast charger. That's what you picture, like these big Tesla superchargers at a super Walmart or a Costco parking lot. And those are very expensive. We're talking $30,000 for the device, maybe even the same amount to install. Very impractical for our vacation industry. And then if you look at the middle, that's really where we sit, level 2 chargers, 240 volt. It's very similar to a hot tub or an electric dryer. But you're able to add in about 25 to 30 miles per hour that you're charging. So you would be able to charge overnight while you and your family were enjoying the vacation, Daniel, and you would be able to drive right back with full 240 kilometers of range at that area. So Australia, you would have been in good shape with a level 2 charger from OK2 Charge. I'll go to the next slide. And this is not just us talking about how amazing this is. You're going to see by 2030 that over almost half of the cars that are sold in the market are going to be electric vehicles. It's just an unbelievable amount. We just went over 5% in the States. In Norway right now, there are more miles driven on electric charge than under gas. So it's happening all over the world, and the US is catching up. We just reached over 5% cars are now electric vehicles. So it's coming, and your guests are using electric vehicles. And if you don't have this in place, you're going to lose some stays. Advance the next slide here. And there's a lot of stats. Our most favorite stat is one where we worked with a third-party revenue management tool, and they confirmed that across the United States, if you have an electric vehicle charger, you are receiving 12.8% higher ADR. It's just unbelievable. So forget getting the money back. Just think about how much value you're bringing to that property. And what we're seeing is you go from maybe 400 properties that you're competing with, maybe down to 4 or 5. So huge value add. The other stat here is just that people really expect to charge where they're staying, especially where they live and work, but also where they vacation. It's a big difference. And why did we create this platform? Well, things is we can bring the guests and residents that where they want to charge, bring it to your properties. But most importantly, we give you margins. So we give you ability to make some money off this, not just a higher ADR, but we can do it at multiple levels. We can give you access control to make sure that your property, the right person is charging at the right time. You don't have Uber drivers pulling up and just squatting in your driveway, charging their car. And then also we integrate directly with Escapia. So very important so that we can know who's staying, how long, and just be environmentally conscious. But you know what? It's also making some green in the pockets of your owners and operators as well. So very important. Here's some different models that we have. You can pay as you go. So you can pay by the kilowatt hour or by the hour. And then what we do, especially if you have HOA or a condo, we put in place these idle fees. So somebody can pull up, charge their car, start paying for maybe 4 hours. But once their car is full, the expectation is that they move their car on. If they sit there for a long time, we can start charging them idle fees, maybe $5 an hour once they go over. And again, electric vehicle drivers are used to this, are accustomed to it. Something very popular that we've found in the vacation industry is we send an email in advance because of the Escapia integration. We know, say it's John Smith, john.smith@gmail.com. We will send them an email and say, hey, you're at an EV enabled property. Would you like to pay for one day, maybe your entire stay? And we're able to do that in advance or on site by scanning the QR code. And then that access control I spoke about. You can restrict it down to a guest or even to an owner. An owner may get free charging if you so desire. So all these different value adds that can only be in place if and when you have an integration with Escapia, which is why it's so important that we did that in collaboration. So here's an example of what it looks like for the guest. They can get an email in advance. Hello, Gonzalo, they got the email. This is an email EV ready property. They can pay in advance. You can see the 1 day or a full stay package. They can pay that, goes on a credit card, and then that revenue share goes with you as a property owner and as a property manager as well. So we can split it 3 ways based on how you'd like to charge. And then also they just scan it and they're ready to start charging their vehicle as they show up. So pretty exciting and a very seamless experience for those drivers. This is an example of a lot of like a Verbo type where it didn't really have all the user information, but yet we're still able to kick back the emails directly to those individuals because we have that information. And you can see EV enabled property, EV enabled. And if it's an owner of the property, they are able to charge at no additional fee. So we have all that data loaded into our system, makes it seamless and really easy for you. And here's what it is. We make it really simple for you to buy and to partner with us. It's just $1,000, so $999, you get that charger. We've seen installations range from everything from $250 if you have your own electrician, they drop in, put it in on the wall or in the garage type area, up to maybe $2,000, $3,000 if you need a trench. It's really about distance from your junction box. And we do have partners that we can engage if you don't have an electrician we can set that up for you as well. It does require Wi-Fi, so have all that connectivity and all that information. And if you don't have Wi-Fi in the area, we can provide these cellular routers as well. So everything from one charger at a single property on up to a whole portfolio to resort that we're supporting today. So very exciting platform. We're going to have some questions at the end if you have any questions. So I just want to thank you all for the opportunity to talk to you today about our platform and what we do in our collaboration with Escapia. And there'll be questions later about whether it's maybe how you do connectors, how we support your different properties. But most of all, just drop us a note at gogreen@okaytocharge.com and we'll get to work setting you up with chargers and differentiating your properties from everyone else. Back to you, Daniel.
Thank you very much, Eric. That's fantastic. That definitely would have helped me. I would not have been stuck in the sort of the on-street parking charging zone at 1 a.m. So that would have been great. Thanks. Perfect. That's excellent. As I said, OK to Charge is our newest API integration partner. Really pleased to have you live. Thanks for your support and thanks for being here today. Next, I'm going to introduce to you Cody Clay from Key Data. Now, Key Data is a long-time Escapia integration partner, and really pleased to say that. It was great to catch up with the Key Data people at the VRMA International Conference recently. Always good to see the development of their product and the services they provide. They are definitely more than just a standard vanilla data platform now, so really looking forward to hearing what Cody has to say. So please remember to post any questions you have for our presenters in the Q&A box as we go along. We will be answering those at the end. So Cody is beaming in from North Carolina, and I've been hearing nothing but good things from our customers about their Escapia integration with Key Data. So without further ado, I think you should have control now, Cody. Over to you.
Appreciate that, Daniel. Yeah, it's been a very long relationship that we've had with Escapia. I'm pretty sure it was our first integration that we actually built. Our CEO at the time was using Escapia, so kind of built it alongside that. So exciting. But as Daniel said, Cody Clay, I am the business development manager here for Key Data. I've been here for about a year now, just over it. Beforehand, I worked in the Panhandle of Florida at a property management company, doing various things from revenue management to business development and owner retention, owner acquisition. And Key Data was one of the softwares that we reviewed and implemented at the time. Fast forward a few years later, now I'm working for Key Data. So they kind of took me from my previous job and gave me some flexibility. So definitely excited about this, excited for the opportunity to speak with everybody and show you guys just a little bit more about Key Data, what it is that we do today and kind of where we came from. So it is a business intelligence tool at the end of the day. We're seeing data being, driven more and more than it ever has been before, especially as we've been through this, COVID situation where no travel, as much travel as possible. And now we're starting to kind of come out of that pent up demand that we've had for travel. Data is becoming more and more important. So with this, bunch of different dashboards and tools that you guys can use from a reporting system. The industry really never had this beforehand. So other industries did have that. So we kind of looked around to see what type of information was needed. And a lot of that came from speaking with revenue managers, speaking with owners about what they wanted to see and what their typical meetings looked like when they were working with marketing, business development, revenue. And we put this all together in this dashboard via the integrations that we have with Escapia for you guys to be able to have more of that direct source data in a specific area. So when you're curious around, what are my competition doing? Are they lowering rates? Are they raising rates? And how is my company or even my specific property, how is it in comparison to that? The old days, we all had to go to competitors' websites or an OTA site to look for that type of data. Thanks to our integrations with Escapia, we actually provide that type of data in an aggregated form and anonymized, so you can really see that and get to the answer a lot quicker than the old way of spending hours, searching your website. So we are working with over 2,300 property managers and tourism destinations. One of the big exciting things around that is our data is being used in so many different avenues. One of the big ones is that tourism side. They're out there promoting the local destinations, and our data is something that they utilize to promote that, especially around regulations that everybody's seeing today. So outside of just the value that you guys receive from that, it's actually helping tremendously throughout your community. The growth that we've seen over the last few years has been tremendous. And as I said before, as you're seeing the 2023 data becoming more and more important, I think people are starting to figure out, okay, how can I use this data for marketing purposes to repurpose it, revenue management, and owner acquisition. Most areas are seeing demand start to go down from what our data is seeing. So it's going to be more and more important now to really lean into that data and make the most out of it from what you're seeing. So we are integrated with just about everybody. The big thing behind that is the data is going to be aggregated in near real time. So every day that you guys log in, you're not having to update this information. It's automatically updated every 12 hours. When you log in, most people have anywhere from 12 to 15 of their reports already saved in the system or even emailed to themselves. It's getting you to that answer a lot quicker. The KPIs and visualization that you guys see in that dashboard, they're what is driving your business. For the longest time, some of the KPIs that we introduced weren't really being used in the vacation rental industry. And now it's become such an adopted thing that, everybody is at this point, from, adjusted paid occupancy to RevPAR. And the big thing too is saving time. So giving you guys time back in your day of not searching for this data, not trying to spend too many hours on a website searching for a competitor or market trends, knowing that your market is down or your market is up, and then going in and seeing what your internal data is saying and providing you guys with that ability to really increase revenue at the end of the day. So you may be wondering what type of reports are in there. Just about everything, as Daniel had said. It's not just pure data that you're staring at a screen on. There's things around pacing, so you can see how your company or how individual properties or subset of properties are doing in comparison to last year. Performance analysis. This is a really big one when owners want to know how their properties are performing. We have some really unique tools in the dashboard that you can easily send to an owner to show them how their property is performing right now versus how it was last year. A lot of flexibility around filtering as well, the benchmarking insights to really see where you stand. As I said before, with those three pillars of repurposing data: marketing, business development, and revenue management. So the visitor origin analysis, knowing where your guests are coming from. So when you want to do some of the targeted mapping, you can easily see where your top destinations are coming from and target to them in the future when you're trying to get more reservations for a specific time frame. Historical performance. How have you done historically? How are you pacing in comparison to that? And really, diving into that data instead of just typically going off of your gut feeling or updating about 18 different spreadsheets with VLOOKUPs and pivot tables to see how things are doing right now in comparison. Rental projections, top of mind for just about everybody from business development. We have some really unique revenue goals tools in there as well. And then a really sleek traveler search demand called Demand IQ, which I'll touch base on in here just a second too. So geo-targeted mapping. So you guys don't have to worry about, where is my market? Your market is based off of where your properties are located. Specifically where you guys are operating today. Most of the US that we have for the most part is going to be mapped out already. So when you guys are in that location, you guys get access to the data in that area. You'll have snapshots to show you, your top producing properties, your lower producing properties, and then for you to be able to dig into that. We monitor the OTA supply for the market as well. And I mentioned before those owner reports that are pretty much top of mind for everybody. So we often get questions around who is this for? It's for everybody within the organization. This is for PMs. It was built by PMs. So executive leaderships, there's certain reports in there that they want to see. Revenue managers are, living and dying by this one for the most part. And then we also tie in that marketing and business development. Everybody within an organization, whether you have 50 employees or 2, you're figuring everything out together. This brings everybody together into one platform. You have goals that you set together. You can track and monitor how things are producing. You can really make changes on the fly based off of what you're seeing within the data instead of going off of your gut or a hunch. That's what we've started to see quite a bit over the last 2 years. And really from what we're seeing with our clients today around what is 2023 looking like and how can we plan for that? So a couple of tools that we'll touch base on. Budgeting. That's a really, unique one here. Everybody has a budget. Everybody puts budgets together. With us, what we're able to do is help you guys easily create it, adjust it, and monitor. So we can take in all of your historical data that we have in the system from Escapia. basically use that as your baseline, and then you can easily make tweaks where you need to increase a revenue goal or decrease a revenue goal, and then no longer have to update this anymore. Because we have that active feed via Escapia, your budget is updating as reservations come through. So that's a very, sleek one that everybody is starting to use now more than ever, as we start to figure out, okay, how are we going to get through what we're getting through for the next, couple of years as we transition from the COVID timeframe. Demand IQ, really unique one. I'm happy to kind of dump into this one a little bit more, probably off screen, because this one we could spend hours on. But essentially, it's going to be your unconstrained data, your unconstrained demand. So typically the way that we've looked at demand is what's converting on our website. This takes it a step further, so you can easily uncover when guests are searching for units before those reservations pick up. You can identify where those guests are coming from, so you can do those targeted marketing, as I said before. And you got a lot of insights around, how guests are booking via the booking source report too. So this is a very powerful tool. I'm excited to be able to share this with you guys. Comp sets, you guys have probably seen these before. Big difference here. You guys can hand select the properties that you guys want to compare against. From there, it easily allows you guys to monitor your rates, your occupancy, and how your competitors are doing with their rates and occupancy, even down to a 2-week period if they've made any rate changes. So holidays, spring breaks, certain timeframes that you want to monitor, you guys can easily start to see, is your competition raising rates, lowering rates? Are they already occupied? Am I not occupied? And even something that you can share with owners that have, misunderstandings around rates, or they feel like they're priced too low. You can build a comp set to show them how the competition is doing around you as well. And then additional benchmarking areas. Curious about a different market that you're not in that you want to break into, you have access to that type of data that you guys can look into before, jumping in and starting to manage a property there. And then last but not least is our partner success team. They are the lifeblood of our company. They are the ones that do all of the onboarding and training with our clients. And then they are the ones that actually meet with our clients on a biweekly or monthly basis to jump into the dashboard, talk about what they're seeing within the market that you guys are in, talk about anything that you guys need related to, revenue management, business development, owners, you name it. They are a tremendous resource internally here at Key Data for all of our clients. So just like Eric said, any questions, obviously feel free to put them in the Q&A, but we've also got the ability at the end of this to open that up as well. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Cody. That's great. That is a lot of different modules and products. I would be very surprised if every attendee on this call couldn't make use of some of those at least. And the integration with Escapia really makes that data pretty powerful. There are some other tools in market that really just scrape data and don't understand true occupancy based on knowing what is actually a booked reservation, booked and paid, rather than like a hold or an owner reservation or a guest of owner where there's no actual charges made. So really powerful there. Thanks for running through that, Cody.
Yeah, appreciate that. That's definitely the big distinguishing factor there.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. And now, next cab off the rank, and please a reminder, submit your Q&A. We do have some questions that have come in separately, and we've got those to run through later, but don't be shy to submit those. And after this, I should say as well, we will be sending a short survey. It'd be great to hear your feedback on how you found this, and if you'd like us to continue these webinars running through our Escapia partnerships. But next, I am pleased to say that we have the inimitable Larry Hoffer from Rentalz. And Larry's joining us from Denver. And in a couple of hours, my Indiana Pacers come against your Denver Nuggets.
Here in Denver?
No, at home in Indianapolis.
Okay.
But for now, we can be friends. So
that's fine.
Thanks for being here, Larry. Now, Rentalz occupies a pretty unique spot in our program. So over to you, Larry, to talk about rentalz.com.
Well, thank you so much, Daniel, and the whole team. And first of all, I've been in the vacation rental business for 20 years, and we've been big partners of Escapia, and we've actually been using Key Data. So call out to the people over at Key Data, because they do a tremendous job on the demand side of things. We actually worked with them as we developed one of our products called OwnerPoint, which we'll get to in a little bit. So we provide a suite of growth solutions for property managers. Now, our team has started vacation rental companies all over North America, work closely with hundreds of property managers. So we're in the business. We're not coming from Silicon Valley or from Europe. We're in the business. We've been integrated and know the people we work with for almost 20 years. So we have two main solutions for growth. The first one is Rentalz.com, which is a booking platform which will drive more high value direct bookings. And then OwnerPoint, which is a growth solution for owner acquisition. And there's nothing else like it in the industry. And we're going to be talking about both together. And as we go through this, I want you to think ahead. We've offered everyone who's attending and every Escapia customer who distributes their home, their properties on Rentalz.com will get a free subscription to OwnerPoint Analyst, which is the supply side of analytics. While Key Data really looks at the demand, we look at the supply side, the property inventory. So know that by participating today and distributing your properties on Rentalz.com, you'll get that for free. So we're going to talk on Rentalz.com. There we go, is the only booking platform built from the ground up for property managers. I mean, we looked at all the pain points, what Airbnb is doing to the industry with Booking.com, other European-based OTAs, and saw what was happening, what people didn't like. And we built a booking platform exactly for property managers, hitting every single touch point. Now it's a booking platform. The people say, oh, you're an OTA. No, we're not an OTA. We're the opposite of Airbnb. Now, Airbnb will likely get you more bookings than we, in fact, no, I will tell you, they will get you more bookings. That's absolute. But we will get you better bookings at a better guest experience. Because what's the difference? It's not an OTA, it's a book direct platform. So here's the difference. We started from the ground up with check boxes. Every one of you who's listening is agreeing to this. You want to be the merchant of record. You want to control, you want to charge the credit card. You don't want anyone else yanking money out of your bank account. You want to determine and have complete control over the money. You want to set the terms and conditions, not take Airbnb's terms and conditions and sort of shoehorn them into yours. That includes your cancellation policy. So your complete set of terms and conditions, you set them. Thirdly, you have direct communication before, during, and after the booking. We don't tell you, like Airbnb does, that you need to book them back on Airbnb. Once we deliver a guest to you, it's your guest for future marketing and retargeting, because we believe that is what is valuable to you. And let's start. So we have to start with the traveler. If we don't start with the traveler, we miss the point. The travelers will be paying significantly less than Airbnb and European-based OTAs. We all know Airbnb admits to 14%, and it could be as much as 20% high markups. If you lower your rates, they're looking at the gap on demand, and they may be marking up 20%. Also, we believe there's a better guest experience with a professional manager. You guys know where the train tracks are, where the restaurants are, and everything else. Plus, we create a hyper-local guest experience. So rather than listen to my talking head, you're going to listen to my talking head.
Hi there. Thanks for sharing a few minutes with us to see if we might end up working together. We built Rentalz.com from the ground up to be a booking platform designed exclusively for property managers and to provide travelers with the best service and value. I think that we can all agree that the best guest booking experience is when they book a vacation rental from a trusted local property manager with full, unfettered direct communication by phone or email, and when the guest can avoid the high service fees and markups of Airbnb or European-based OTAs. When a guest books directly with you on Rentalz.com, you are the merchant of record, and the guest is subject to your exact terms and conditions and your cancellation policies. Plus, no one knows a property better than a team that's been entrusted by a homeowner to represent their property than your team. And you're free to retarget and rebook your guests because you'll always have the guests' phone numbers and email addresses to invite them back to book with you again. With almost 2 decades of experience operating rental companies across North America, working with hundreds of property managers from coast to coast, we've listened closely to travelers and our property manager partners to deliver the perfect booking platform for today's environment. Rentalz.com is a booking platform that features 100% professionally managed properties and is actually a network of hundreds of local microsites. Each Rentalz.com microsite promotes each destination, including providing travelers with rich dining and attraction resources and with beautiful photography or video of your destination. Rentals.com currently features tens of thousands of vacation homes, condos, and villas from some of the leading national and regional property managers and hundreds of local market leaders. We drive bookings using the historical inquiry and booking data of millions of travelers through our affiliate network. We execute highly targeted digital marketing campaigns through social media using our private blog network of dozens of local escape guides. And unlike the OTAs, several of which are based overseas, Rentals.com is a privately owned American company that serves property managers, travelers in the United States, Canada, Mexico, and the Caribbean. And here's what truly sets Rentals.com apart, is that we are the first booking channel that helps you grow your property inventory. We offer a complete suite of property growth solutions, including our industry-leading and powerful owner point data and marketing service that helps you identify, target, and onboard the most desirable properties in your area. So not only can we provide more direct bookings for you, but we can also execute highly targeted property acquisition and retention campaigns using our industry-leading technology and marketing solutions. And, of course, we are directly integrated with the leading PMS systems and through channel managers, so onboarding is quick, easy, and accurate. We welcome you to join us on Rentals.com.
Are directly integrated with Escapia. It's an easy onboarding process. We'll automatically be notified when you sign up. And Vero and people, the team at Escapia, I trust that everyone knows how to activate new channels on for Rentals.com. Just for look for Rentals.com. We do not ask for rate parity. We recommend, but don't require, that you mark up your rates 5%. And because we want to be significantly less than Airbnb, but we understand you have margins to watch. So we ask, but don't require you mark up your rates 5%, and Escapia Net allows you to do that. And we work on a 10% post-departure commission, just on the lodging portion, of course, and you pay us the later of 14 days after departure or when you pay your homeowners, and you mark up your rates to fit your business model. But we are the only booking platform out there that helps you grow your property inventory. So just by distributing your properties on Rentals.com, we will give you OwnerPoint Analyst, which is the analysis tool of the supply, the property supply in your data. And that leads us to our OwnerPoint product, which we're going to tell you about right now.
We created OwnerPoint to help vacation rental companies grow their property inventory. It's easy to use and incredibly cost-effective. OwnerPoint includes a complete property data platform, a compelling proposal tool, a robust CRM, and turnkey direct mail and digital marketing campaigns. The first step in adding new properties to your rental program is to identify the homes, condos, and villas you'd like to target through a focused sales and marketing effort. Public county property records were not designed for ease of use. So we designed OwnerPoint to put property data in an accessible form. You will receive access to all of the residential property records in your county, updated 12 times per year, delivered to you in an interface custom designed for vacation rental property managers. You can create custom target lists for effective owner acquisition, sales, and marketing efforts by using the advanced filters that let you search by property value, location, property features, owner location, and many more criteria. You can even identify homes you'd like to target within specific geographic boundaries using the built-in property selector drawing tool. In addition to the mailing addresses of the second homeowners, we can append your target list with the email addresses, phone numbers, and social media profiles of prospective homeowners to be used in your marketing campaigns. OwnerPoint's property database and proposal tool integrate with our custom CRM to easily allow your team to identify target homeowners, convert them into active prospects, and deliver compelling proposals to earn the trust of the homeowners of desirable properties. Follow-up tasks and actions are integrated with your current email and calendar systems. Once a homeowner has responded to your marketing efforts, the next step is to provide a convincing proposal, differentiating you from your competitors. OwnerPoint's robust financial projections tool demonstrates your company's local market knowledge and incorporates the unique goals of each homeowner. We include a proprietary proposal tool that allows property managers to quickly and easily prepare attractive custom proposals for homeowners. OwnerPoint marketing services include a comprehensive targeted direct mail campaign, custom landing pages, email templates, and targeted digital marketing, all designed to allow your team to present your services and benefits. You can select the level of OwnerPoint service that works for you, whether that is our complete turnkey property growth solution or subscribing to the very cost-effective property data and proposal tools CRM solution.
So we're going to do a quick demo here. It's a real life example. So let's take a look right now.
We're going to do a quick search right now to show you the power of OwnerPoint, how you can identify properties that might be desirable. We're using Hilton Head, South Carolina, which is a popular market. Many people are familiar with the market. So I use this. So in Hilton Head, you'll see on the left, we have property details. So we can search by property details or homeowner details. So I'm going to do something right now. It's actually almost completely random. We're going to target for people who have single family homes that have at least 3 bedrooms, that have a swimming pool. And now we're going to come over here for absentee homeowners. And let's do it where people have owned the homes for more than 3 years and up to 20 years. And again, we have hundreds of variables you could choose from. So again, in Hilton Head, South Carolina, we're going to do a search for absentee homeowners who own their homes between 3 and 20 years. We have at least 3 bedrooms that have a swimming pool. And in just a few seconds, you'll get the results. We did speed this up for the demo. So just like that, there are 258 properties that fit that criteria, and you'll be able to take a look at it. So of course, they all have at least 3 bedrooms because that's what I selected. They're all absentee homeowners. It's interesting to see where they live. This is by the DMA and this is by the state. So many people figured this out. They know their market well. But of this group, these homes have an average valuation of $3.4 million. The people have doubled their money since they bought their property. And because I chose this age range, the years, this is how long they've owned them. We even have demographics. The average age of these homeowners is 60 years old. And what percentage have children? How many are baby boomers? And now, this is on a macro level. This is information you will get as part of OwnerPoint Analyst that's included if you distribute your properties on Rentalz.com. Now, if you want to have access to see the data and download the data, there are 258 records. We'd add this to a tag and we'll call this Escapia test. We just add them to a tag. So there they are. They've been added to a tag. And if you want to get the email addresses and email addresses and phone numbers of these homeowners, all you need to do is go to List Builder, choose the Escapia test, request their build the list. And just showing you right here, you get the demographics, their email, their phone number. And within 1 business day, you can get the email address and phone numbers for these homeowners. Let's do one other property search where we go into map tagging. And for those of you who know Hilton Head pretty well, south end of the hill, let's take this area right over here. Draw a polygon or a rectangle around these properties. And I'm searching, and there's a list of all the property information right here. So of that list, there were 4,000 homes, and you could do whatever you want with it. But schedule a full demo of OwnerPoint where we can show you all the power on how the most important part is identifying and targeting the right homeowners. We're going to do a quick search right now.
There we go. Oops, let me start my video. Sorry, I'm back now. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of questions. We worked with Key Data to identify almost all the counties in the United States. And for those of you who are looking from outside the United States, it's not available. The public data and access to data in the United States is unsurpassed. I've shown this to people in Europe, in New Zealand, in Australia, and in Canada. And some people just shake their head and said you'd be thrown in jail for use of the data this way. But in the good old US of A, it's available. But we probably pull in a dozen different data sources into this platform to combine it all in different places. And we're about to add it with a lot. We constantly, we have a whole team of developers working on this to enhance it. And we have many companies across the United States using it. And we count our partners as our product development team. So if you sign up for Rentalz.com, we will give you free OwnerPoint Analyst. If you distribute your properties on Rentalz.com, we discount all of OwnerPoint's subscription services by 33%. We're your partner on growth, both on bookings and on growing your property inventory. And thank you very much. If you click on the link that's up here, and I'm going to drop this into the chat, you can sign up and you can get scheduled with one of our team members as well. If actually someone can paste that into the chat on the Escapia team, and that's how to reach us. But thank you so much. And
that's brilliant. Thank you so much for that, Larry. Apologies for the issues, everybody, on those videos. That was mostly
no problem.
my fault, but I'm glad we got through them.
Thank you so much.
And I tell you what, you're right. I'm here in New Zealand, and I am shocked and amazed by the level of data access that you've got there, the ability to be able to find those markets, understand where your opportunities are, and not just that, but then go and directly contact those owners to hopefully win them over to your services. That's a pretty powerful tool.
Well, so one of the things, Daniel, one of those things that's relevant here in the United States, we don't do this, but we could even get the political affiliation of those homeowners if we wanted to. We chose not to do that, but we could even do that.
Well, that's very relevant this week, obviously, there in the US, given everything that you've got going on. But thank you, Larry. Really appreciate that. And so now we come to the Q&A portion. For those who, if you have a question, please submit it via the Q&A. But for now, we did get a couple of questions before the webinar, so I'll run through those. So the first question I have came in for Cody. Cody, if you want to hop off mute and pop your video on, and actually if all our panelists could go on video, that'd be great. So Cody, the question here is, I already use dynamic pricing. Why do I need a business intelligence tool like Key Data?
Yeah, it's a very common question. We have a lot of folks using Key Data today that use dynamic pricing, and we have a lot that don't use dynamic pricing. One of the big things behind that is we're a business intelligence tool, of course, and comparative data solution. That's not just for revenue managers. As I said before, it also includes things for business development, owner services, marketing, finance, you name it. So we provide that data solution that allows clients to track their revenue strategy and the performance using a lot of those metrics and market data that's not currently available within dynamic pricing.
That makes sense. Cool. Thank you. And actually, I've got one more there for you, Cody. Someone says, are we too small of a company to use Key Data? I don't actually know how many properties there are, but maybe you can talk a little bit about how should a property manager know if they're the right size to use your services? Yeah, no, most certainly. We have people of 3 units. We've got folks that have thousands of units. It's really one of those versatile tools that without jumping into it, it's kind of hard to see, but it's user friendly for everybody. The data is there. The integration with Escapia is there too. So really, the curated portion of the property managers that we work with and the curated version of our partner success team make it so that regardless of your scale, it's usable for everybody. Cool. Thanks, Cody. Next question that we had was for Eric. So this one is asking a question about the different connectors and how they, if they use one of your okay to charges, will it work for all EV types? So Tesla versus, Nissan Leaf or whatever it might be.
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. So the connectors that we have on the chargers are J1772, which is a US-based standard. It works with all the General Motors, Volvo, Volkswagen. It does not work with Tesla. However, Tesla drivers, their car comes with an adapter for J1772. I'm a Tesla driver myself. My car came with that adapter. So if I go to a Walgreens or one of those where they have the chargers sitting in the parking lot, I'm able to use that standard US adapter. And we find that's more conducive for property managers and vacation owners, is to have that more standard connector. And then if a Tesla driver pulls up, they have the adapter ready for it. So great question.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Next question that we've got here just came in live from Kim Marie Lopez. Thanks, Kim. The question is, do you set up and connect directly to Escapia with your tech personnel, or do I have to set it up? So I think this is a question for each of you. So maybe we could go through one by one and talk about what's the right onboarding process for an Escapia customer to connect with each of you. And I'll start with you, Cody, then we'll go Larry, then we'll go Eric.
Yeah, no, great question. So our integration with Escapia is already built into it. All we need from you is a very brief questionnaire that gives us some of the information that directly ties your specific instance of Escapia to us. And then from there, the onboarding and data validation begins. And it's a very quick process to get that up and running.
Great, thanks. And with rentals, I personally have not gone through the connection through EscapiaNet, but you can, I believe it's very evident in how you connect to any of the channels. You go through, you look for rentals with a Z, and you add it. We will automatically be notified, and then our staff will reach out to you and get the distribution terms and conditions, because it's very important to have impeccable bookings. So the first step is go ahead, log in through EscapiaNet, or if you like, go and fill out a form. But no matter what, you have to go through the EscapiaNet checkboxes to activate our channels. There is an ability in, there wasn't a couple of years ago, but now in EscapiaNet, you can adjust the rates. Again, we recommend you mark them up no more than 5%, but it's your call. And then once that happens, we'll send you the distribution agreement. We'll get your exact terms and conditions. We'll put them on the site. We'll get all the billing information set up. And we have a team based here in North America who's handling this to get it onboarded.
Excellent. Eric?
Yes, very similar. Work with our client success team. We will engage with the Escapia team and get you online and onboarded. Very simple process. We don't want you to have to do hardly any work at all, and that's why we work so diligently with Vero and the Escapia team. So that's a seamless integration for all of your clients.
Excellent, thanks. I think there was a follow-up from Kim there. It says, I recently added rentals, but did not get info on owner point. Sounds like she's interested in that. So Larry, we'll connect you with Kim.
Our team will do that. It's all part of the team, but thank you. Yep, then you'll get your free, by the way, you get your free owner point analyst when you get a full demo. Once you're onboarded, you'll sit down with our team and they'll walk you through all the features and benefits and how it might work. Because in some cases, you just want the data. In other cases, you may want to have a full suite of services. So our team will get you set up. Excellent.
All right, we've got a couple more questions from the ones that we had before the event. This one is actually for you, Larry. It says, how do you generate bookings on Rentalz.com?
Great. So one of the things we don't do is we don't spend money on Google AdWords in your market to compete with you. You can see that, guys, Airbnb is doing that. That's Home2Go's strategy, is to do that. You'll see tons of Booking.com ads being spent in your market. And so we do it with database marketing and affiliate marketing, because we realized we could not compete with Airbnb and some of the other big channels to do that. So we do it more nimbly through an affiliate network who have travelers in their database to drive the business. Plus, we built, when you go into Rentalz.com, we're building it for long-term SEO, but we have very little natural search results right now. But we create a lot of content through social media, through dozens of escape guides. So it's a very, very diligent, slow growth approach to make sure we're not competing with you for SEO in your marketplace or for pay-per-click.
Excellent, thank you. And I can attest to Larry's ability to drive demand. I've seen it in action. It's pretty impressive. Okay, and we've got just one more question that came through before the event. Again, it's for you, Larry. Someone seems very keen to understand where you get the data that's in owner point.
So it's great. It's all legal. That's the first thing. It's all legal. I think we added up, I think we have 12 different data sources, but the core of it starts with the county records. The county transactional records are the core of the data, and it starts from there. But we use a very, very, very large data provider, and we spend a tremendous amount of money on this to get 315 fields of data for millions and millions of property records in virtually every county in the United States that are traditional property management counties, but we'll add it. If we don't have the records, it'll take us a week and we'll get them. And then we buy data for mortgage balance. We have mortgage balance data. We have equity. We have appreciation. We have property value. We have MLS data. We're now getting data that shows where the people are investors. So it's probably 12 sets of data all into this platform that puts it all at your fingertips, and it's all legal.
That's brilliant. Excellent. Thank you. Well, that brings us to the end of the questions that we've had submitted. I'll leave that open in case anyone has any last minutes. But just to wrap up here, I'd like to thank Larry, Cody, and Eric for their time and effort today. And thanks everyone for joining us, for the questions that were submitted and for taking the time to be with us. We will share the recording afterwards if you want to have that on file to listen back to. And please do submit some feedback for us so we understand how we can make these better. And we look forward to seeing you again for a future webinar. So again, thanks Cody, thanks Larry, thanks Eric, thank you everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you so much, Daniel.
Thank you.